Welcome back to the Padilla Poll and P2Sports.com. I'm Ed Suarez. I'm with Will Compton from Rudder. Coach, first of all, welcome. How's the convention going for you so far?
Oh, it's great. You know, we got out this afternoon and been able to sit around with our coaches and finally relax just a little bit.
You know, I've been talking to coaches when they mention they're here, they know the season's just right around the corner. You getting excited?
Absolutely. You know, it's one of those things, being a first-time head coach, you know, you think you have everything done until about 2 weeks before the season starts, and then the sleepless nights begin.
Well, talk about it. You're at Rudder, which is a fairly young program, and this is your first head coaching job, so you're getting hit from all sides.
It's one of those things. I'm excited. As far as when I took the job, I knew the situation I was coming into. It was a very similar situation to what we had at Oak Ridge a couple years ago, and it's a process, you know, and it's one of those things that takes 100% energy from every coach on staff, because it takes a buy-in, and the kids have to believe in the buy-in all the way through. And so if they don't believe in the buy-in, then the change does not happen.
Well, talk about when you come in there and the kids don't really know you and the staff is in a state of flux. How hard is it to work to gain the kids' trust?
Well, you know, that's one thing that you have to do. You have to get to know the kids. I'm a firm believer in that. You have to know where they're coming from. And so what we did is coming in, you know, I would love to see them on the field. You know, I would love to see them out there running and throwing and catching and doing all those things. But the first thing we did is we took a week and went into the classroom. I didn't allow any other coaches. It was just me and them. And we got to know one another. They got to know where I was coming from. They got to know the process that was about to happen. Got to know the things that they wanted out of life. And they got to know my life and where I was coming from. And that week right there was probably the most vital thing that we did the whole spring. And then every week we'd come back on a Wednesday. We wouldn't go out on the field. We wouldn't go in the weight room. And what we'd do is we'd go back to our character building. And that change right there, just the mental aspect, you know, the kids started acting a little bit better in the classroom. The grades started coming up. You know, shirts were tucked in and pants were pulled up. The little details that have nothing to do about football with everything to do about football.
But you have looked at film. What kind of players do you have coming back?
Oh, we have very talented players. You know, we have a linebacker named Spencer Choka. He's about 6'1", 225, and he's a very, very talented kid. You know, we have a quarterback who has a great arm. Got a couple receivers that, you know, that people don't know about, and we got some great young kids. And we're excited about what we have, because when we look at it, we see we have enough athletes to compete. And, you know, that's the thing is, you know, when you take a positive aspect on everything that you do, you know, you don't look at what you don't have, you look at what you do have. And in our opinion, we have enough athletes and a fight that we can compete with everybody.
Who are some of the teams that you're going to have to really battle for the district?
Well, right now, the top of the district is going to be A&M Consol and Bryan High. Those two guys coming down from what was 5A. They were in our previous district. And, you know, A&M Consol quarterfinal team, great coaching. Same thing with Bryan High. You have Ross Rogers, who's definitely a proven coach. And then you have College Station High, who's a newer school breaking off from the Consol region. And you look at what they did this year in baseball, and it just shows of what type of athletes they have. Also, the one that's kind of, in my opinion, kind of the dark horse that nobody talks about is Huntsville. They have a lot of great kids over there. They got a new coach, and so definitely seeing a big change in them this year.
We had a chance to talk off camera. We mentioned that your dad is an offensive line coach there, and it's usually the roles are reversed where the son is assistant for the dad, but the roles are reversed. But how fun is it to work with your dad as a football coach?
Oh, working with my dad is probably one of the greatest things that I get to do. You know, people talk about, you know, why did you get into coaching? Well, first reason I got into coaching, you know, I was going to be better than my dad. You know, it's that true kid mentality. You know, what are you going to do? I'm going to do whatever my dad did, I'm going to do it better. Well, then you start learning actually why your dad did it. And, you know, the changes he made in kids' lives, you remember those things. And it's not more about the wins and losses, but those changes that you make. And then to have him on staff is awesome, because, I mean, you know, everybody talks about their mentor coach and who they go back to and talk to. Well, my mentor coach is on staff. And so to be able to, hey, you know, big guy, we need to talk about this. Okay, well, we need to block it this way, or we need to do it that way, or, you know, he's right there for me. You know, he's the most supportive guy, and he's by far the best coach we got on staff.
Coach, it's a great story. Good luck this year.
I appreciate it. Thanks for everything.
Will Compton from Rudder High School. Ed Suarez is here for Padilla Poll and P2Sports.com.